What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be watching the cutie pox infection AU. I might have two pair videos of it, so you have to watch part two because it's only 22 seconds. Hang on. I'm sorry I keep pausing my video, but like my mom's keep calling me because of my freaking dog. Anyway.
What you want to see next, and My Little Pony won overwhelmingly so.
Ooh.
And when I looked at my request list, this one
Wait,
called
whoa,
Cutie
whoa,
Pox.
whoa, whoa! What is this? Hang on. What the hell is that? What is that? Like around it's blood?
Created by
Okay.
Cummy Gummy 420 was at the top
Ugh.
of the request list. Now, if the name Cutie Pox sounds familiar to you, it's because it's based on a real episode from
What?
Season 2, Episode 6. Now, in this episode, we see that the Cutie
Season
Mark
what?
Crusaders are trying to figure out how to get their cutie marks.
Is it
But in
season
this
2 or
pursuit,
season
Apple
3?
Bloom ends up getting injured and goes to
That's my
Zecora for
question.
some healing. Now, while in Zecora's hut, Apple Bloom gets access to a plant called Heart's Desire, and when she eats it, she ends up contracting the cutie pox. And while at first, the pox simply gives her a cutie mark, but over time, she starts to develop more and more marks, slowly losing control over her body and her mind. Now, in the show, Zecora is able to find a cure before things can get out of hand, but in this AU, we actually get to see what happens if a cure isn't found quickly enough.
Oh,
and
yo.
based on this first panel of Apple Bloom, we can already tell that this is about to be really bad.
Hang on. First of all, this is already getting too dark. What is this? Like, it's already so dark based on this picture.
For the ponies. And as we get more images of her, it just gets worse and worse. Now, I want to point out a few things in this panel here. The first is that Apple Bloom is patient 0, meaning that she was the first pony to actually be infected with this virus. And this makes sense because she was also the first pony to get it in the original show. We also see that she has at least 13 cutie marks on her body, meaning that she is really deep into this infection now. And while her body is rotting away, she is still intact enough to actually chase down and attack other ponies. The sad part here is that
first of all, how is she that cool? Like, how could she attack when she's in this state of a body? Stage 1 is this? Like, wow. How is this even possible? Literally, if this is floor stage 1 or 2, that's crazy because like that's already bad for what it seems
even though she's
to
still
me.
semi-conscious, she no longer has control over her body, so I don't think she can stop herself even if she wanted to. Now, when we look at later chapters in this AU, we see that Twilight Sparkle has actually been making some notes about the virus, including what it actually is and how it spreads. And when we get to this page, she actually has the phases that the ponies go through. Here we see that the virus can be passed to other ponies if they are bitten by an infected. And one of the things that makes this virus really bad right off the rip is that amputation doesn't work for this virus. Once you are bitten, it's basically game over unless somebody
just
finds a
drinking
cure.
my
It looks like it takes about 12 to 24 hours for ponies to fully go into stage 1. And this is where they start to become like really tired, they lose their feathers or their fur, they start sweating a ton, and their horns get damaged. They'll move over to stage 2 after another 24 hours or so, and here's where they start to become confused and disoriented, no longer understanding what's actually happening to them. We also see that their flesh starts to rot away, starting at their original cutie mark. That wet cough from stage 1 gets worse, and now they cough up this red mucus, and they are starting to develop like this insatiable hunger. And also, I want to point out the sunkenness of their eyes here. The artist did a really great job of showing the panic of the ponies in stage 2. Now, stage 3 takes place 1 to 4 days after stage 2.
Hang up! Stage 3, is that bad? Okay, you know what, Apple Bloom, which is the infected little kid with, go out. What's it called? How do I say this? Apple Bloom with Applejack's little sister actually might be in this stage. She might be on this stage because look how bad this is, and she is really bad. Like her like she's probably in stage 3 because like that's crazy. If she is not in stage 3, I'll be shocked because she's so bad. Like literally.
Meaning that there may be time to save these ponies if they can get a cure before they move over to this stage. But once they get to stage 3, I have a feeling that there is no going back. At this stage, the infected ponies will begin lashing out at any other pony that they see, and this lets us know that Apple Bloom is at least at stage 3 of the infection right now.
Yeah.
Another thing that we learned here is that at stage 3, the pony's horns will break, which may actually be a blessing because at least there's no chance of the infected ponies using magic. I feel like a magic zombie would just be cheating. After that, we get to stage 4, and this one comes pretty quickly after stage 3. This is where we see the pony's body start to elongate, and whatever their original...
What is that? Like, I love the artwork here because I love how they made the eyes like flowers coming out of their mouth and where their affected area is. And I like how the feathers are just like coming out.
Cutie part starts to shine through. So since this pony had flowers for their cutie mark, stage 4 made them sprout these flowers out of their mouth and also out of their infected area.
I thought it was just for detail.
Of no one, at this point, the pony is completely gone, and it's just like a mindless husk. After about 2 more weeks, the ponies will move over to stage 5, and at this point, the ponies are truly falling apart. Their necks are...
First of all, that's not supposed to happen to a pony. That you will break your neck. And that's not good for your neck. Just stretching all the way back like that is literally not good for your brain. You'll be just upside down for your brain would just be upside down. And the neck, you're cooked because like if you twist your neck that long, it's mostly staying there. And if you do it for too long and you just stay that way, you're just gonna stay that way.
They're all crooked,
that's all.
Their jaws are falling limp, and their overall body is a twisted mess. But the worst part is that at this stage, the ponies will start to release spores from any open wound in their body. And if any pony breathes them
spores.
in, they'll die
this
within
happened
30
to
minutes,
me,
which is
if there was a virus
didn't see coming.
For me,
I thought that the spores were kind of be like a Last of Us thing, where you breathe them in,
I would have just put on a mask.
But honestly,
I would just put on
so
like a freaking mask and
like
I won't care. Like I'm just gonna be like,
and finally, you have
I'm not
6.
breathing in these
spores. Stage, we do know that this is the final form. At this stage, the pony's bodies will either be fully broken down or they'll just stop moving. But they do continue to release these spores, meaning that whatever area they're in is basically off limits. Now, back over in the main story, we see AJ is still alive and clean of the infection, but she's a bit beat up. It seems that she got into a tussle with her sister, but managed to escape. The bad news here, though, is that she also learned that in this AU, the truth seed, which was the cure in the original episode, doesn't work. Meaning that they'll need to find an alternate vaccine for the ponies. And to make matters worse, when Apple Bloom attacked AJ, Zecora and Twilight were there as well, and the only reason that AJ escaped is because her sister jumped on Zecora instead. Seeing this, Twilight and AJ ran away, leaving Zecora to try and fight off Apple Bloom alone, which was the worst thing that they could have done, because if we're being honest, she's one of the few characters that may actually have a chance of making a vaccine. And in her panel, we see that she is still alive, but she's been bitten, which likely means that she's infected. The saddest part here is that as Zecora...
Wow. That bite mark doesn't even look like a bite mark. That just looks like you just got that Apple Bloom just shoved her hand in between your chest and make a big gap. That doesn't look like a bite mark at all. That looks deep.
Help over and over, begging AJ or Twilight to not leave her behind. But what she doesn't know is that they're already long gone. In Twilight's panel, we get to see that she was overwhelmed by everything happening, and while she didn't want to leave Zecora, she kind of panicked, and she didn't know what else to do in that moment. The one good thing here, though, is that she's not just running aimlessly right now, but rather she's going to inform Princess Celestia about what's happening. And I'm really hoping that this version of the princess is more like the Virus Z Princess Celestia, who was just slaying every infected that she saw, because we need more of that energy in these AUs. After that, we see Rainbow Dash, and she is still alive and safe. She was sleeping on a cloud when Apple Bloom started attacking ponies, and while she doesn't actually know what's going on, her first instinct is to go check on Fluttershy and make sure that she's also safe. And funny enough, while all hell is breaking loose, Shy is just chilling in her cottage, cutting her hair,
Oh
and getting
my
ready to go on a little
gosh!
picnic, completely unaware of everything going on outside.
Whoa! She's
Pinky,
so
on the other hand, is not so
cute.
lucky. She was in the town when Apple Bloom started attacking ponies, and she actually witnessed her rip another pony apart. And while she is still
Whoa!
clean of the infection, she's hiding in her bakery, and with
No!
Apple Bloom
I
infecting
would
so
just
many
be
ponies, I'm
terrified
not
and
sure
just
how long
hide
she's
in my
actually going to be
house
safe there.
or in
The
my
last
room.
pony we see in this chapter is Rarity, and just like Shy, she's safe in her workshop with Sweetie Belle. Funny enough, the two of them are making a gift for Apple Bloom to celebrate the
Oh,
fact that she has received her cutie mark, unaware that she has become a
yay!
monster at this point.
Yeah,
In the next chapter,
pretty
Rita
sure.
said this ignorance doesn't last
Whoa!
though, and Apple Bloom starts approaching Rarity and Sweetie.
So
But at first,
that's
the pair
Apple
doesn't seem to
Bloom.
be
Like that's how
afraid,
she
which surprised
sees
me because Bloom looks like this right now. And I know it's hard to read this text, so I'll go ahead and translate.
Apple
Rarity
Bloom. Is
basically
that you,
says, Apple
darling?
Bloom, is that you, darling? We made you a congratulations present. But Apple Bloom is too far gone to understand, and she lashes out at the sisters. Now, when we get to see her stat sheet again, it
Whoa!
becomes very clear now that she is at least at the third stage of the infection,
Yes.
and it's way too far gone to try to reason with. The only thing the ponies can do now is just try to avoid her while she's lashing out at any pony that she sees. Luckily,
But
Rarity was able to keep her presence of mind
if
to protect her
someone
sister,
recognize
and
her
also
and like
gets
think
assistance
she's
from
like
Apple Bloom,
completely
deciding to
normal
run
at
over
this
to AJ's
at
farm to
this
see if the rest of
stage,
Bloom's family is okay. And as
they're
to be
crazy.
expected,
Like
Sweetie
that.
is
Like that
terrified,
just
but
can't
also
happen.
confused as to what's happening to her friend, because as of right now, most of the ponies are unaware of the cutie pox outbreak. When we cut over to AJ,
Apple
we see that
Bloom.
she's okay, but she's also depressed because she wasn't able to save her sister. The good news is that both Big Mac and Granny are still okay though. And seeing this, Twilight decides to leave AJ with her family and continues her way to Princess Celestia, understanding that she needs to inform her of this outbreak ASAP. And although she is worried about Spike, she knows that she can't make a detour to go check on him. This image of him laying alone in the house, trying to drown out the noises of people getting attacked outside, is
Yo!
kind of
Whoa!
heartbreaking.
Whoa! Whoa!
But at
Whoa!
least
Whoa!
we know that he's safe for now. Sadly, the
Yeah.
same can be said for Zecora. Since she
Oh
was bitten by
my
Apple Bloom, she's been wandering around the
God.
town looking for any herbs that she can find. And at first, I thought that she was still trying to find a cure before she loses her mind, but she's
Ugh.
actually eating all the herbs.
What?
And I think this showcases that the infection may be moving faster through her body. Two
Oh.
notes for Zecora also stand
But
out for me.
look.
The first
Look
one
at her
here
leg.
says
It's just
that her
turning
bite has
purple.
unknown side effects, which I hope doesn't mean that she's gonna like mutate in some way. And
Oh,
this second
whoa.
message says, no matter how much she begs you to help, don't. After that, we see Pinky
Whoa.
again, and she is still hiding out in her shop. That is until her tail starts to twitch, or
Twitchy,
AKA
twitch, twitch.
Pinky sense kicks in.
Twitchy, twitch, twitch.
Twitchy, 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 twitch.
And I think this means that in the next
Twitchy,
chapter,
twitchy, twitchy,
something
twitch.
is likely going to break
can't say
into
it
Pinky's
properly.
shop.
Twitchy,
The last two
twitchy,
characters
twitchy,
that we get an
twitch.
update for in this chapter are Rainbow and Shy.
Twitch.
And
No,
we
no,
see here that Rainbow
twitchy,
bursts
twitchy,
into
twitchy,
Fluttershy's
twitch.
cottage, and while she
Okay,
wants
whatever.
to tell her what's happening, Dash is like in a state of shock. So all
Whoa.
she manages to tell Shy is that soon, no place will be safe because it's spreading. And of course, Shy looks terrified because he has no idea what Dash is talking about, but can clearly tell that her friend is shaken. And in the next chapter,
yeah.
we start off with Shy trying to get Dash to open up about what she's seen in town. And while it's clearly hard for Dash to speak about it, eventually she musters up enough courage to try. But before she can get out more than one word, they hear a loud crash outside. And we learn that
Whoa.
this is likely Zecora. Apparently, she's
Really?
been wandering around Ponyville, but now she's no longer looking for plants, but rather ponies. She's
Oh.
using her good sense of smell to sniff out any ponies that are hiding. And in this case, she's breaking down the door of Shy's cottage because she's caught the scent of her and Dash. And since Zecora is at the point where she's attacking any pony that she sees, Dash and Shy have no real choice but to run away. We also learn here that Dash ends up kicking Zecora, and while the kick didn't actually take her out, it did give the ponies time to escape. But I was surprised to see that Dash didn't escape unscathed and was actually bitten by Zecora. And when she realizes this, she flies away, leaving Shy alone. And I think she does this because she doesn't want to end up attacking Shy, but also because she's in a state of panic and running was the best plan that she can come up with on the spot.
Okay, guys. I'll make part 2 soon. I promise. Okay. piece your lips off of the screen. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.